And welcome again to the big match. And today, three matches that vitally affect the championship or promotion. One from the first division, one from the second, and a good and fiercely competitive match from the fourth, which is our main match today, Brentford against Grimsby.
Instead towards Bobby Ross, and this time he's lost it. Oh, and so did O'Mara.
Also, Leeds against Arsenal.
A shot, a touch, a goal, going for it. It's scrambled away by Nelson.
And Preston against Queen's Park Rangers.
Against the crossbar with Kelly struggling, and he's still out of his
So
goal.
matches that really matter here today, and as well as the action, we shall again reflect the things that you've been writing to us about. But let's make a start with our first match, and in the sunshine of West London, with a crowd of 14,600 settled into Griffin Park, more than one first division club and 7 from the second could draw yesterday, Brentford against Grimsby, a game with a lot hanging on it at the top of the fourth division. And first, the Brentford team. At the moment, they lie very nicely 5th in the table, but now going through a successful flurry after the return from suspension of their big and successful striker, John O'Mara. So that's the Brentford side. As for Grimsby, they lie second in the table at this moment, a side coming to the boil at the right time, and a lot of that due to the recent purchase of number 4 Lou Chatterley, the former Aston Villa man from Northampton. And the men who've scored the goals for these two sides, John O'Mara, in spite of that recent suspension, has 24 for Brentford. Grimsby's Matt Tees, their top man, with 20. Grimsby skipper Dave Worthington, from a famous footballing family that includes the brothers Frank at Huddersfield and Bob at Notts County. Referee today, Ken Burns of Stourbridge. And in the crowd, one of Brentford's first division stars from pre-war days, wing half Ernie Muttett, still regularly watching his old club from a position behind the goal.
So this crucial fourth division match gets underway with Grimsby in their changed strip of all blue defending the goal to our left. Their black and white stripes conflicting too closely with the red and white stripes of Brentford. Hawley back over his own head for Brentford. Gray with the beard and Nelms with the fair hair to get it away. Gray once more. Hickton. Brace right across there and nodded away, but not too far, and still Grimsby in possession now. Worthington, their captain. Matt Tees was going for it, but the long-established Peter Gelson here of Brentford, nearly 400 appearances, getting it away. And now Graham again for Brentford, delaying it and losing it. Hickman once more. Straight to Gelson. And now Ross. The ball running away from him all the time, but his challenge was sure. Hawley, again a long one forward, and again one Grimsby player was playing everybody onside, but the ball bounding away again to Wainman. Gelson and Graham. Wigington away. Hickman. Oh, and that could have been a mistake, and now Houston is through! Can he make it count? He can't. A very good piece of goalkeeping, though, by Wainman. And certainly, the Grimsby defence at the moment seems all over the place. And this fellow Houston, who's coming through quickly from the middle of the field, is causing them one or two problems. But a very good piece of goalkeeping by Harry Wainman in the Grimsby goal, stopping Brentford going ahead. And a corner to Brentford. Peter Gelson going right up, and you notice Matt Tees so good in the air, going back with him for Grimsby. Jackie Graham with the corner. Towards the near post, and Worthington not getting it away! And a fine save again there by Wainman. Scales trying to put Grimsby under more pressure, but now they're coming away with Gordon. But a very promising couple of minutes there for Brentford. And two really marvellous pieces of goalkeeping by Harry Wainman, a Hull boy, keeping the score sheet blank. Wigington, Boylan, good strong challenge though by Nelms, and an equally strong one, and perhaps too strong, by Chatterley. Lou Chatterley with his third club this season. Started with Villa, went to Northampton, and now recently with Grimsby. Gelson now to take the free kick for Brentford. Houston's made his run. Worthington not really getting the way very well, and Wigginton helping him. And so it's Brentford's throw. Scales with the throw. Bouncing just a little too high for Doherty, but he's a proper little terrier there, and he's got the corner for Brentford. The third spell he's had at Brentford. He's also played for Sheffield United and for Reading, John Doherty. And so it'll be Graham to take another corner for Brentford. And a good fist away again by Wainman. Tees right deep, inside to Boylan. Good turn by Boylan as well. Into Brace, and now to Chatterley. Grimsby now opening it up, and he's onside. Hickman is all right. And he's over. Well, he certainly looked offside, but the linesman was directly in line. He kept his flag down as Mike Hickman got well clear of that Brentford defence and really should have made that one count. Houston and Worthington. Houston again, a nice little touch off there to Scales. Doherty, a nice back header too, and Chatterley on the end of it for Grimsby. Graham. And another Brentford throw. Scales with it. Down the line to Houston. And another Brentford throw. This time Doherty to take it. Doherty crossing it again, O'Mara going in, and Wainman once more forced to tip that ball over. Did well, I would think, to keep his eye on the ball there with that huge frame of O'Mara rushing in on him. And so, yet another corner for Brentford. And again, Jackie Graham to take it. Ross turning it back again. O'Mara poised beneath it, and a fist again of Wayman. And behind by Campbell for another Brentford corner. Again, it'll be Graham to take it on the far side. Looks as though it'll be an in-swinger under that Grimsby crossbar. With red and white striped shirts launching themselves at it. There they go again. And it was kicked off the line. In goes Scales, but he's beaten by Hickman. And so now Worthington to take the throw for a very relieved Grimsby. 2 or 3 fine saves by Wainman, and then a kick off the line by fullback Campbell. Hickman. And that surely should be Nelms back to Phillips. It's not often that in the last few years that Brentford have had a crowd quite as good as this one for a league game. Now O'Mara. Oh, and he must have handled that, yes. Not happy with the decision and points to his chest, but the referee was directly in line, and he shows dissent O'Mara, and he's going to get his name taken. And it's only 3 games since he came back from suspension. 3 cautions for dissent then. And it cost him 8 weeks. And I wouldn't have thought he's playing a very clever game in taking it that way. Annoyed with himself, annoyed with the referee, but it very often pays not to show it. And so O'Mara is booked. The crowd don't like it. And it'll be Stuart Gray to take the free kick for Grimsby. Deep again towards Tees, and Gelson had gone with him, and Hickman with a chance and a good save! Good save by Phillips. The ball bounding towards him from Hickman. Body beautifully behind it. O'Mara. Ross. Doherty. Graham. And now Ross on the far side. Good Brentford move. And Houston and O'Mara in the middle if he can cross it. Well, he's got a corner. Just a little subdued, John O'Mara, since his name take. Graham with another corner. Again swinging in. And not it again, just wide. O'Mara, the man who made contact. Grimsby claiming feverishly that there was a bit of pushing going on in there. And now it's Tees for Grimsby. Boylan. And Gelson beautifully in command for Brentford. What a good piece of cultured defensive play by the Brentford number 4 there. Houston, Grimsby claiming an offside, but the number 2, Worthington, was playing everybody onside. Doherty now for Brentford. Needs to let one fly. No, he's going to get caught up in it. And Worthington finally to belt it away. Tees to lay it off for Boylan. And there goes the whistle for half-time as Brace goes roaring through and Phillips comes roaring out. A goalless first half with Brentford after such a good first 15 minutes where they were thwarted completely by the Grimsby goalkeeper Harry Wainman. But Grimsby too getting 1 or 2 chances as well. Still to come on the programme today. Highlights of that tremendous match at the top of the first division between Leeds and Arsenal, and a very important one at the top of the second between Preston and Queen's Park Rangers. The half-time score here at Griffin Park is Brentford 0, Grimsby 0. So Brentford get us away at the start of the second half, 0-0. The first of 3 successive home games for Brentford, and they really want to make them count to go from 5th to somewhere a little bit higher in the 4th division. Remember, the top 4 go up to the 3rd division. Grimsby, of course, who are 2nd. Doherty. And Hawley putting it across there towards O'Mara, and Graham, yes, did he use his hands? The referee appeared to blow his whistle, then changed his mind, and it was Chatterley who got it away for Grimsby. Nelms. And Doherty pushed in the back by Campbell. A goalless first half, in fact, very uncharacteristic of both these sides. Brentford with a good goal-scoring record, and in fact then Grimsby with 66 goals, scoring more than anybody else in the 4th division. Hawley now with the free kick. Chatterley losing it to Allen. Doherty, very neat piece of play there by Doherty. A low cross, and Houston tried to stoop and deflect it. Boylan. And Brentford's throw. Alan Hawley, the number 2. In fact, leaving it for his skipper, Bobby Ross. Hawley, in fact, going on with a chance to cross this one, and not a bad cross as well, and another fist away by Wainman, behind this time for the corner. There hasn't been very much that Harry Wainman has missed this afternoon, and now he's got to face something else as Graham again takes the corner. Ross trying to nod it, but the angle was wrong. And so it's going to be a Grimsby goal kick. The long and the short of it there in the middle of the field, certainly for a moment for Grimsby. Boylan and the tall Chatterley. Grimsby's throw. Gordon inside for Chatterley. A nice dummy there by Chatterley that gave him a yard or two, and a sweeping pass there to Hickman. Back for Worthington, and now Chatterley again. Good ball there by Chatterley to Worthington again. Not such a good cross though, and Ross getting in the way. Chatterley, who could have quite an influence on this game, finding Worthington. Back to Chatterley again. The little chip forward, and he's all right. Brace is onside. A low cross this time towards Tees. And Brentford players going down in the dust, and the ball going behind. Off Tees for the goal kick. Wigington beating O'Mara in the air. Hickman. Again towards Matt Tees, but that time Nelms was at the end of it for Brentford. Chatterley. Campbell. Taken off him by Houston. Good play by Stuart Houston for Brentford. The ball bobbling about viciously in front of him. Ross taking it up and taking it too far. Poor reward for a good run away from that defensive position by Houston. And now Boylan. Letting one go! Seemed to go for a moment the wrong way from that shot from Dave Boylan. And then his reflexes were very quick indeed, Phillips. O'Mara trying to put Worthington under pressure. Houston right in there too. Worthington again over his own head, and a throw to Brentford. With a quarter of an hour of the second half gone and still no score. Doherty. Oh, he snaked his way around there nicely. The cross there towards Ross. And that wasn't in fact a particularly good save. It got it away, but that went through Wainman's hands. And it's his lucky day, because it went over the crossbar as well. There's an old superstition in Grimsby that trawler men are superstitious and they don't like green, and the Grimsby goalkeepers are not supposed to wear green, but he's wearing green today, and the luck was going with him. It's the corner then to Brentford. And it's going to be Graham once more to put this Grimsby defence under pressure. Curling another corner. In under that crossbar once more, and again the goalkeeper was there before anybody else. But chance for Graham to turn it back first time. Straight to Campbell. Nelms. And O'Mara is offside. He's offside. Good piece of play again by Wainman. He wasn't to know. Did all that was asked of him by the Grimsby defence. But in fact the whistle had gone for offside against O'Mara. Not arguing. The Brentford back four in line there, and it's Nelms who makes the contact. Chatterley to Boylan. And Ross challenging all the way. This is a good game. O'Mara. But he wanted Ross to go on, and he's giving his skipper a bit of his tongue as well, wanting Ross to come on for that layoff. Boylan, Chatterley. Swept wide there now, across the field for Tees. Worthington. Tease. They could do with him up in that Brentford penalty area. Worthington. Chatterley hitting one first time and hitting it well wide, but it was worth a go. Really has had a big influence on this Grimsby side in this game, in the middle of the field and coming forward. A lot of experience to call on. Lou Chatterley. O'Mara hanging there and winning it in the air. Graham nodding it on. Doherty, such a fighter, but losing that battle, and Hickman coming away for Brentford, for Grimsby. But there was a foul on Doherty as he fought. And it's going to be Brentford's free kick. It's going to be Gelson to take it. Doherty. Allen going right in there too, and Allen still right in there. And a goal! Scored by Doherty! The goal Brentford so badly wanted. And Doherty, the little fighter who scored it. Bobbling about there on the edge of the area, it ran loose to him, and he made no mistake into the far corner. So this big Griffin Park crowd delighted with that turn of events. And not even Harry Wainman in that Grimsby goal, who's had such a fine game, could get a hand to that one. Nelms to nod it away for Brentford. O'Mara to nod it on for Doherty. Trying to screw it in again for O'Mara, and O'Mara scored again. 2 in a minute. 2 in a minute for Brentford. And that's what West London wanted. Again, the marvellous little architect was Doherty with a fine jinking run, but turned it inside, and O'Mara caught it left-footed. 2-0. A little boy briefly on the field, now off the field, and away we go. And now really it is all against Grimsby. Ross, and the ball out of play. Well, a very relieved Brentford bench, and on the second from the right, Frank Blunston, their young manager, pointing away. Chatterley. And a nice little flick on, and a goal there. No, offside given against Brace. Offside given against Brace. Well, it was a goal that Grimsby would badly have wanted, coming so soon after those 2 big setbacks. But the linesman was directly in line. And they're bringing on their substitute now, Lewis, and it's number 11, Alan Gordon, who's going off. Doherty laying it off for Graham. And on for Doherty, scampering down that touchline again. Brentford's throw. Houston. And Worthington, and another Brentford throw. Doherty laid off for Jackie Graham. A good cross there again towards O'Mara. And now Ross, can he turn it back again? Houston is right in there, just a shade too high for him. And that should so easily have been number 3. Brace. And Nelms doing a good defender's job again for Brentford. Wigginton. The substitute Lewis to Campbell. Hickman, good jump by him towards Tees. Boylan, a busy player, and he's won a corner. Off Hawley for Grimsby. So Grimsby now plunging a lot of men forward. Brian Turner's gone on, the substitute for Brentford. And John Doherty is going off, the man who scored the goal. One of the heroes and getting a hero's send-off as well. But here's the corner with Boylan. And Tees! Yes, it's Tees who got the touch. And the linesman is flagging. And the referee is going across to consult him. Now, will it count or won't it count? It's Tees who put it in. The consultation that means an awful lot. Number 9 is Tees, and it's disallowed. And it's disallowed. And Grimsby don't know which way to turn, but the linesman's word has been taken by the referee, and it's still 2-0 to Brentford. Tees far from happy with it. The second goal that Grimsby have had disallowed. So he's not very pleased with the linesman, that's for sure. And now Turner. A lot of space ahead of him. And Brentford now 4-2 against Grimsby. Played into the path there of O'Mara. Needing to cross it. That long leg sticks out. And Jackie Graham to hit one, and it's over. Tees. Gelson. Belted away. Houston, chased by Wigington with Worthington inside him. But trying across instead towards Bobby Ross, and this time he's lost it. Oh, and so did O'Mara. The first real technical error, I suppose, that Wayman has made all afternoon. And Brentford, as the final whistle goes, get 2 very valuable points indeed as they push towards the top of the 4th division. John O'Mara, scorer of that second goal, made for him by John Doherty, who went off. Doherty himself scoring the first goal. And the final scoreline here in this important promotion match at the top of the 4th division that reads Brentford 2, Grimsby 0.
So Brentford very happily have taken 7 points from the last 8 since John O'Mara came back from a 5-week suspension, and now they've slipped into 4th place ahead of Grimsby on goal average. Still to come for you on the programme today, highlights of Preston North End against Queen's Park Rangers, and the team they're all talking about, Leeds United, in their match at Ellen Road yesterday with Arsenal, and some action there that really is not to be missed. But now let's go back to Brentford and over to Jimmy Hill.
Well, last time we went down to Griffin Park, I think the fans and players were a bit disappointed. They didn't provide too good a match, but this time it was that much better. Although I must say, experiencing the sort of problems that all promotion teams experience this time of the year, hard grounds when it isn't easy to play football, especially in front of your own fans. It's much easier for an away side to destroy and kick the ball away than it is for a home side to get it down and get a shot in at goal. And because of that, it was a long while before Brentford could get ahead. They pressed round the Grimsby goal. The goalkeeper made a couple of miraculous saves, but in the end they did, and it was John Doherty, that little skillful player, who brought about this goal. Free kick there from Peter Gelson. He had a fine steady game yesterday, and there's Doherty laying the ball back first time, and he gets his reward for that in the end. But this goal is typical of the way in which you have to muddle goals on grounds like this. It's fight and determination that really wins the ball, and from that moment on it's Doherty's skill. That goal was beautifully taken. You don't see it as well from this side as you could from the other, but he picked his spot so well there and tucked it in a foot of space at the right at the bottom of the post. And this is the second goal. Having got one, they found it very easy to get another. Just 28 seconds afterwards, O'Mara heads it on, and it's Doherty again, elated from the first goal, who streaks up the wing, and see the way his football brain tells him just when to lay it to O'Mara. He's onside there, there's a bit of pushing and shoving, streaking forward, hammers it with his left foot there, the goalkeeper gets his hand to it, but can't save it. That was 2 goals. In fact, they spent more time congratulating each other before the first goal than they did in carving out the second. It took about 5 or 6 seconds. Grimsby felt they were a little unlucky. Laurie McMenemy, the manager, a fine young manager, was composed afterwards, but felt that maybe Grimsby should have been allowed a couple of goals. The first one was an offside decision where 2 players, to me, looked, well, more than suspiciously offside, but he felt he'd like to have a look at it again. So let's see now whether Laurie McMenemy was right. There's the ball going up. It's we pause for a moment there as it's about to be headed on. You can see the player to the right there moving into the box, but it's not he who is the guilty one. I think it's the one to the left there, Matt Tees, who now is clearly in an offside position. That was the first one, no question about it, the linesman right for that. Now let's move on to number 2, which was rather a different cup of tea. There was an infringement, or there was a suggestion that there was an infringement from the corner coming up, taken by little Dave Boylan here. Quite a character as a player, that one. There may have been a suggestion of pushing from that first header, but there certainly wasn't when Matt Tees headed that beautifully into the corner of the net. And you can see, I think, why he was so annoyed, because he felt he personally hadn't done anything wrong. But the linesman had flagged very quickly and very clearly to say that he saw an infringement there. I must say, it isn't all that easy to see, but on the other hand, I'll leave you to make up your own minds. Well, what about Brentford for the future? I think the signs are good. They've got a lot of spirit. They fought hard yesterday. Once they got in front, they showed more skill. The crowds are ready to support them. 14,000 crowd yesterday was an excellent crowd, and if they go in the third division, I think they'll have what it takes. My only worry is that they don't meet my other old club, Fulham, in that division.
Well, more action now, and for this we have an important match in the second division, important at least for Queen's Park Rangers, who've got to grab everything they possibly can in the remaining weeks of the season to stay in the promotion hunt. Yesterday it was a difficult away match for them at Preston, where the pictures come from Granada Television and the commentator is Gerald Sinstadt, and Preston are in the white shirts.
Put out a play by Ian Evans. Lyle with the throw-in to Heppolet, and he was barged there before he received the ball. It wasn't Heppolet, it was Tarbuck. Well, Young might well fancy trying to bend one there. He's got enough to aim at, I'd have thought. And he does. And it's in by Tarbuck. That was a bad wall by Queen's Park Rangers. The gap there is very clear, and as Young hits it, Parks goes down well, but Tarbuck was up snooping and made it pay. Crosby turning it forward. Bird's header. Lyle gave it away to Ferguson. O'Rourke, he can shoot, and a good save by Kelly. John O'Rourke, who did a great job for Ipswich a few seasons back, came into their side in the last 2 or 3 months of the season. He got some crucial goals that won them promotion to the first division. A real poacher when he sees the goal. Kelly did well to thwart him then. Ferguson's corner. And now Francis. Lob for Leach, got away by Kelly. And now Evans, he's got it. Ian Evans' first goal in league football, but it's been disallowed. Francis. And here are 2 men against 2. O'Rourke just got a toe to it. It's the equaliser. 1 minute into injury time. It all comes from that long ball through the middle. 2 against 2 here. McCulloch's header and the toe of O'Rourke. 1-1.
And what a valuable late goal there for QPR, who are still 7 points behind the leaders, Norwich and Millwall, but they've got a game in hand. And it might be significant too that of their last 9 games, Queen's Park Rangers have 6 of them at home, so it could be quite an interesting finish yet at the top of the second division. The one controversial issue yesterday at Deepdale was that disallowed Queen's Park Rangers goal. Why was it disallowed?
I've got to confess that I was on Queen's Park Rangers' side for the first 5 times I looked at the slow motion, and the 6th time I saw the thing that gave us the clue to the linesman decision, which in fact I think was absolutely correct. The clue was Mick Leach, the player who fell with the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper was beyond him, and there were not 2 players between him and the goal line at the moment the ball was hit. There's the cross. Now you can see Leach is falling. The goalkeeper is almost falling on top of him, in fact. And he's the player I want you to look at as young Evans comes in here, cracks it well with his left foot. Look quickly to the left of the picture and you can see Leach getting up. But he was in an offside position without any doubt at the moment that ball was kicked, because the goalkeeper, as you can see, is just outside the 6-yard box there. So the linesman, absolutely right.
So a difficult decision there, but the right one made up at Preston. Now your letters, and the first one today comes in fact from some Reading fans, from Jean Middleton, Sheena Sharp, Linda Norris of 31 Matlock Road, Caversham in Berkshire, Gregory MacDonald Smith of Christ's Hospital, Horsham in Sussex, and Andrew Morris of 91 Woodcock Way, also Caversham in Berkshire, all asking you to see Barry Wagstaff's goal for Reading against Arsenal in that 4th round FA Cup tie a few weeks back. And one of them making the point that we showed Stuart Morgan's own goal from that match last week. Why don't we show Barry Wagstaff's this? Here it is.
And so it'll be Habin now with a corner for Reading. Badly wanting a goal now to restore themselves. Wooler. And that'll fall now for Wagstaff. And he scores! Wagstaff has done it! 1-1.
Well, I hope that restores the balance a little bit for all our Reading fans. Arsenal, of course, won the match 2-1. One of our correspondents suggested that Barry Wagstaff goal might qualify for a golden goal. Well, I don't know about that, but this is to remind you at any rate that we should be launching our golden goals competition next Sunday with our preliminary list of 12, from which we shall draw our final 6. Now, Roy Marshall from 180 Thin Road, Morningside, Brisbane in Australia writes to ask what the alphabet is that he sees week by week on the football grounds. Here's one. And he says it's been puzzling a number of our Australian viewers. In fact, this alphabet is used to show the crowd the half-time scores in other matches being played that day, and relates to a key which is published in the programme. Here's an old Tottenham programme, published in the programme that the crowd can get. Team A, for example, you can see there, Chelsea v Liverpool, corresponds that A to the alphabet that you actually see on the ground. I'm sure that that's nothing new to all the regular football fans, but I hope it clears up 1 or 2 things at least for our friends in Australia. Now we come to some more action, and I suppose you could argue the most significant match of the whole weekend. Leeds United, already said by some to be on the verge of becoming the greatest club side of all time in England, hotly disputed by a number of their critics, against Arsenal, the reigning champions. And for an extra bonus, of course, this could be a possible rehearsal for the FA Cup final itself. There were 45,000 people at Ellen Road, including Yorkshire television cameras and commentator Keith Macklin. But the afternoon began with a nice warm gesture by Leeds United in honour of Arsenal's winning the double last season.
The Reedy Road show for the benefit of Frank McClintock on the Arsenal side. Billy Bremner presenting Frank McClintock with a tankard inscribed to Frank from all the Leeds United players, commemorating your wonderful achievement last season, and the Ellen Road crowd joining in a very generous round of applause for the Arsenal players. Well, I'm sure Frank McClintock on the Arsenal side will appreciate that, and they're giving a wave to the crowd. That's a nice touch of showmanship from Arsenal too. That's Story hooking it in the penalty area. Kennedy getting his head to it. Simpson trying to follow up, coming towards Jones, clips it nicely out to Lorimer. Jones is staring down the middle. McClintock's there. Well, McClintock's missed it. A chance for Jones. He's missed it. It was a long way out, but McClintock's mistake. And in the opening minute, a chance for Mick Jones. He was outside the penalty area, and Wilson was coming out to narrow the angle, but McClintock almost opened the gate there. Hunter to Madeley. Cooper. That's coming to McClintock, who's unattended. George. Hunter, of course, looking after George, getting it to Giles. Jones. Bremner. Good ball from Bremner to Jones. Free kick on the edge of the penalty area. The Arsenal players, I think, suggesting that Jones may have fallen a little too spectacularly. But it's a free kick to Leeds, quickly taken by Giles, too quickly. Story got a boot to it. Hunter. Cooper. Arsenal defence retreating. Chip forward to Clark. Is he onside? I think he is. And he couldn't get hold of it. Even then, Wilson had to stretch. But that was another chance for Leeds. Clark was not offside. Up goes Madeley. Finds Jones. Clark and Giles. Bremner and Lorimer on the right. Bremner leaving it for Lorimer. Curling over towards Clark. Rice going across to challenge Clark. And it's Rice who puts it in touch. Giles wanting someone to come for it. And it's Madeley. Hunter trying to find Clark, who does get it. Almost too casual, but Madeley gets it back to Hunter. Leeds trying to open up this defence. It's Story who goes in hard. Clark. Oh, again, Clark, a model of the casual. Hunter, a good floating cross off the head of Roberts. Then Nelson, then Roberts again. And McClintock not too happy about what's going on in the penalty area. This is Lorimer. Lorimer going round Nelson. There's a chip. A touch wanted. It's Clark again. There's the goal. A beautifully placed cross by Lorimer. And Alan Clark makes it 1. 11 minutes gone, and Peter Lorimer waited, looked up, put it right across the face of the goal. And it's the inevitable sniffer. Clark, who touches it in. And it's Armstrong for Arsenal. Story behind him. Rice. Roberts. Arsenal being forced square. That's a chance for Kennedy. Now Ball, a first time! Oh, what a good shot by Ball. What a superb first. By Ball, and Sprake was really stretching for that. Ball. Bremner going right across Ball, but Ball did get it away. Now Nelson. Story, but Reaney will get to that first. Kennedy's there, leaving it for Charlton. Bremner. Jones. And Clark. Ball. Madeley pushed that out and had to go after his own pass himself. That's the position. Often Eddie Graycroft up in. Bremner. Lorimer open on the right. Clark. Again outside, Nelson again, the cross again, the header. Oh, what a miss! Clark scored the first goal. In all honesty, missed a sitter. is down, but play goes on. Giles to Lorimer, Roberts lying prone in the centre of the field. Referee Mr. Yates letting play go on. Here goes Lorimer again, raiding down that touchline. He's through into the penalty area. A shot, a touch, a goal. No, it's done it. It's scrambled away by Nelson. Clark got a touch to that, and out came the toe of Nelson to get in the way just as it was rolling into the untenanted goal. Madeley's head. McClintock, Simpson, Cooper reading that all the way. Lorimer's injured in an offside position, he's hurt his back, but that's aimed towards Jones. Jones in on it, and a goal! What a mix-up of the defence! What an appalling mix-up of the Arsenal defence! Jones nipped past Nelson and Roberts, with Wilson also standing there for the simplest of goals. And Jones is hurt. But in 34 minutes, what a simple goal. Wilson, Roberts and Nelson all standing, leaving it to each other, and Jones in between them for the goal. Giles. Bremner. Harassed by McClintock, beaten by him. It's Giles who goes into the tackle. Giles trying to find Jones. Ball is there. Kennedy. Ball, busy little bee. Oh, a good ball for him, but a chance for Alan Ball. And superbly, no, what a bad luck, what awful luck. A superbly taken chance by Ball, and he deserves to score, he hit the post. Now Rini going across. Straight down towards Lorimer. That backheader taken by Jones. Jones controlling it well. Trying to get in for a shot, there's a shot! Wilson past the post, no, it's not gone out of play. Rice puts it behind, it was behind. And again, the Arsenal defence in all sorts of trouble as Mick Jones teed up the shot, and Bob Wilson was really stretching. Giles. And Giles looks up before he receives the ball, deciding where the ball's going to go next. Lorimer. At the near post, Clark, a flick, he didn't get hold of it. Rice. Armstrong. Remner's up on that. 1 minute before half-time, and Rice brings down Remner. Giles, as Leeds keep the pressure on all the time on this Arsenal defence. Clark's on the outside, but Lorimer's hit one, and a goal! In off the post. 40 yards, Peter Lorimer. Bob Wilson taken by surprise, and he crept inside the post, and that's 3. 44 minutes, and Leeds giving Arsenal the run around they gave to Southampton and Manchester United, and it doesn't often happen to Arsenal. Story. Nelson. Kennedy in the middle. George also there, and Armstrong. Nelson trying to get round Charlton. Puts over a good cross. Up goes Kennedy. Coming out to Ball. Ball mishits it, but Kennedy has a chance to hit it. Hits Hunter. Another chance for Kennedy. This time he hits George. And again Kennedy. And Armstrong. It's Marinello, the substitute. Marinello for Kennedy, yet another chance to shoot. Again a deflection. Ball has a chance. George must score. Off the line. George again. He's missed it. Well, well, well. The number of chances that Arsenal had in that goal bout. Kennedy, Ball and George. And even when Sprake was on the ground, George put it in. And that's the way it's going for Arsenal this afternoon. Madeley is inside Rini. Clark. Now Clark in on the penalty area. And a shot. And Wilson comes out to nail the angle and takes it, but not at the first attempt. Clark, the man who worked the opening. Cooper in, hard in the tackle, on ball, and hustled off it by Rice. McClintock having words with Mr. Yates and alleging that Cooper was the offender. Rice is going to be spoken to. Ball also getting it on the act, and the book comes out, and it's a caution for Ball, I think. Come here, says Mr. Yates. Now, is it Ball's name going in the book? Yes, it is. The Arsenal players protesting about that. McClintock leading the protest. And Rice also, so 2 cautions for the same incident involving Terry Cooper, and McClintock might well go in as well. On from for Story. George getting all tangled up, but Hunter penalised. George up again. A free kick to Arsenal. Nelson and Lorimer in contention. Lorimer has the ball at his feet at the moment. And still has it. Fought for that ball. Giles. Clark. Not quite the slide rule pass normally from Giles, but Leeds still have it. And it's Lorimer. Rini. Bremner being followed by Simpson, finds Rini, takes the return ball, Simpson behind him, still Bremner going, across for Clark to hit, and the deflection, and he nearly crept in. That shot was hit against Rice, and it almost got through Wilson.
So Leeds the winners there by 3-0. Nobody could argue with that, and indeed they played some brilliant stuff there in the first half. They're now 4 points behind the leaders of the First Division, Manchester City, but Leeds have 2 games in hand. They have a very interesting couple of games coming up as well. Away to West Ham United on Good Friday morning, and then away to Derby County, the second-place club, next Saturday. It might well sort out 1 or 2 things. Well, that's it today. Hope you've enjoyed the programme. Remember to join us again for On the Ball in World of Sport next Saturday lunchtime, when we shall be having a good look at the Easter programme and all its ramifications, and we shall have another action-packed big match for you next Sunday afternoon. Well, we had an enjoyable time, the big match team, down at Griffin Park yesterday, and we normally leave you with a goal. This time we thought we'd reverse the procedure a little bit and leave you with a little tribute to 2 very fine 4th Division goalkeepers that we saw in that game between Brentford and Grimsby yesterday. Harry Wainman, the Grimsby goalkeeper, and Gordon Phillips of Brentford, some of their best work.
Oh, and that could have been a mistake, and now Houston is through. Can he make it count? He can't. Towards the near post, and Worthington not getting it away, and a fine save again there by Wainman. And now Boylan. Letting one go. Phillips above the ball.